Hello. Right, I'm going to call this Operation Under the Bonnet. What I'm doing is I've got an old Encore, and yeah, you might want to sort of just turn off to that, but that's fine. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do some extra special tweaks as well underneath, basically to improve and to diversify the improvements on basically a junior style strat 1980s Encore, which I've had for such a long time now. So what I'm going to do, given this, is this is basically the block from underneath the tremolo. You'll recognise it. It's not quite the same as a Fender. The tremolo hole is slightly different, but I've put some piezos in there, and what's going to happen is hopefully I'm going to have a pull push pot, and it's going to change from the standard pickups, which are no longer standard, and I'll show you about that in a moment. And what's going to happen is when you pull the pot out, it's going to use these. I think this is probably the best place I can put them. Now, I've trimmed them down, and some of you be going, oh my god, you've probably ruined them. Nah, they've gone on really well, and they've been tested at every single stage, every time, and I've snipped some off the edge and whatnot. Now, the way I'm going to test it is this little monkey here. Yeah, right, okay. These come in a little solder kit, and it's a little wave generator. It's fantastic. I'm quite made up with it. Okay, so you've got like the coarse, the fine, you've got an amplitude one here, and you've got a little selection where you can change different outputs and frequencies and such like. It's very good, and it only cost a couple of pounds. So I'm going to plug this in, and that is how I test whether your pickups are correct and working. Now, both of these being in parallel to each other should put out a reasonable amount of noise. I mean, you can hear the different buzzers. It's like, that's why I've moved it off the cloth, because I put it on the table. It sounds so much more. Yeah, so I'm just going to switch that off, and off we go with that. Okay, so that is ready to go in. They've been soldered together, and also they've been glued in place using this mitre bond adhesive. I didn't use the accelerator, I left it setting all night. It's a nice gloopy slow setting CA glue. It's really thick, and it's really held well. I'm hoping that I've just gone over the edges, and I'm hoping that little envelope is going to keep it in place. Time will tell, but you know, that's that. So I'll just move a little counterweight out the way. This is the claw, and let's just get a little pokey thing here. Now this here is the old tab, and unfortunately it's not there anymore. So what I've done is I've heated the whole thing up, and I've put a little solder blob on the back. Now the reason why I've put it on the back is it looks better. It looks better once it's in the cavity. It's out of the way. Now I'm going to fold this back on itself, and that's going to come through. Isn't that neat? That's neat. This guitar does actually mean something to me. It was sold to me by some guy in a pub called Davey Ha Ha, because that's what he did. He used to come up to you and go ha ha. So this is, I've not reassembled it all yet, but what's happening with this is I've not tapped, because that's not really the correct one, but what I've done is I've got a selection where I can go between this pickup, so that there is earth, this one, that's going to be pokey, right, that one there is ground, that one there is just this coil, okay, and that is both coils, and that's going to turn that back into a humbucker. So the idea being is you should be able to get some of those nice little strat squawk things going on, and once this is assembled, the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to turn this into sort of a knuckles type pickup, and it's going to have some M5 Allen bolts in there, and they're going to go up to 20 millimeters, whereas these only go to 17, so it will come close to this back plate. This back plate's nothing to do with magnetism, by the way. This is brass, this is for shielding, and it's going to have a little Alnico that sits in there, and hopefully this will all go back together. I did try this on the original one from the guitar, but unfortunately when I came to solder the wires on these, because I'm not quite sure what these are, but these are Korean, but the Chinese windings that I had was so poor, I couldn't solder to them. I you know, obviously tried to slowly scrape off the coating which is on the outside, but it didn't work. So yes, this is the start of this, and what I'll do is I'm going to post these, and I've resprayed the guitar itself, and I've actually put some undercoat in, and I did lend it out, and it had a few battle scars on it because it was gigged. But what I've done is I've filled those in. I've undercoated it, leveled it all off, flattened it, and I've left it satin on the back, and I've got it shiny on the front, so it's nice and glossy, and it's all been you know, highly polished, and hopefully when it's sitting on the rack, you know, no one will actually notice, but I'll know all these different things that I've done to it. I've temporarily used some No, I'll leave that for now, right? I'll discuss what I've done with the neck later. But the neck's always been a really, really nice neck to play. But I've made some alterations on it because it's about time I learnt my pentonic scale. Okay then, thanks very much.